It's Talk Funny, a podcast by Mark Bailey and comics from all over. We ended up in Japan because... Wait, we are in Japan? The Talk Funny podcast from Nagoyaradio.com and Nagoyacomedy. Here's Mark Bailey.
And welcome back to another edition of Talk Funny, brought to you by Nagoyacomedy.com and Nagoyaradio.com in the illustrious Nagoya Radio studios overlooking beautiful downtown Yabacho. I'm Mark Bailey. We're here today with Steve Howard and Mike Miller. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
We've got a lot of stuff to talk about, and actually, this is a little bit meta, but we realized when I was doing some with Tim, some of the conversations I had with Tim off mic about what we should talk about were funnier than what we actually did later, so I thought we'd just do that here. So, I've got one pet peeve I wanted to talk about. There's a show we did months and months and months ago, but I don't know, it's kind of depressing because it's the first show that we actually had to negotiate with audience members to get our pay, and it's like, hey, try that in New York, you're going to get kicked out. It's like, I don't want to pay. What are you going to wait and see if you like it first? It's like two guys in a row, so it's 1,000 yen, entry fee. For what? Well, it's a show, right? I mean, you knew that, right? You knew you were coming to a show because a magician invited you, right?
Right.
And so it's like, you want it now? No, sometime mid-September would be fine. Yeah, now. You're seeing the show now. Do you watch a movie first in the theater?
We have a convenient layaway plan.
But Mark, you're a married man, so you should be good at those kind of things, right?
Yeah, well, I've never seen money before. I've never had money in my hand before, so I don't know what to do with it.
Throw it on the floor.
Exactly. But then it's get kind of passive-aggressive, and so the guy pays, and he goes, well, if it means that much to you, here. Okay, now, with that attitude, we're going to have to charge you double, because... it's like, well, 1,000 yen means that much. Well, it doesn't, but I mean, do you get away with drinking beer for free? I mean,
right. Yeah.
You go to the supermarket and you load up your cart and it's like, well, it means that much to you. I guess I'll pay for it. Well, it means a lot to the judge and the cop that's going to be dealing with your case. Yeah. Doesn't mean anything to me because on Earth, this is the way we do things, and you knew you were coming to a show. I'm sorry, do we look like the cleaning crew?
Yeah.
You saw us up there testing mics and stuff. We're comics. You've been to a show before. Is that the reason? You've seen our show before?
Maybe we need to call up one of the... kind of bigger, angrier comics that used to play with us and use them at the door.
Or maybe we could pay a vig through Promisu. Get those guys the bill collector. Who's that? Don't worry about him. That's Kenji. Don't worry about his four fingers. Just put the money in his four fingers.
But then if they didn't make enough money, they'd break our legs at the end of the night.
It'd be like, okay, well, it means that much to you. Here's my house loan.
Here's the keys. The TV is in the master bedroom. You go and take it.
And this was at a show where we realized halfway through that no one was collecting money. The bartender informed us that he wasn't doing that anymore. Oh, okay. Well, halfway through the show, that's really good. Now we have to pry money from drunk customers in the seat already.
Mark, I think we need to invest in a turnstile to put it at the door.
That would be hilarious. Just have a
Can you get one of those New York subways, city subway turnstiles that accepts the coins?
Or just, what I was thinking is turn all the chairs upside down.
Oh, I like that.
So they can't...
Chair rental. You say entrance free, chair...
Entrance is free.
You have to rent a chair.
Chair's 5,000 yen.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, I'll just stand.
And the
toilet is 10,000 yen.
And the toilet is 1,000 yen or something as well.
Yeah,
Drinks free, toilet 1,000 yen per use.
Well, if it means that much to you, you can use our toilet for free.
There you go.
And then the second guy, Tim dealt with him, and I guess the guy didn't pay at all. He's angry. He's what do I have to pay for? So... Brian Regan has on his new special. He's got a really good way to deal with that, and so I won't give away his attitude. But what I think we should probably do is go, okay, and just start pulling people's shirts off of the customers. Take their shoes, and just throw them all over the room and go. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you wanted total anarchy, because I thought civilization was over because you no longer have to pay for anything. And did you pay for drinks? You shouldn't. And it's free. Everything's free. It's like, hey, start a fire. Property is theft. So that's what I thought you were doing. Have you lost your mind? No, I mean, you refused to pay for a show. I'm like, well, do we not have to stop for red lights anymore? Or, it's like
slippery slope, Mark. Slippery slope.
And that really gets you in a good mood. You have to pump yourself up before you get on stage, right? Be in a good mood. So, haggling with customers before you get on is really a good way to get your mood up.
Personally, I go to the washroom, I look at myself in the mirror, and do the little pep talk. You rock, man, you rock. Then I get out there, I'm all psyched. I look in the crowd, and I see some beautiful ladies, and I'm really psyched. And then by the time it's my time to get up on stage, they've all gone.
They left. And so for me, it was like Jekyll and Hyde, because the New York comic in me is like, hey, don't pay me and then say if it means that much to you. So I threw his money on the floor, threw his 1,000 yen on the floor. Hey, sure, man, you want a free show? I give you a free show, all right? It's all about you, by the way. You're the star.
You should have taken your shirt off like Bert Kreischer at that point.
And then we should just
I'm going to give you a real good show tonight.
And then the Jew in me goes, there's 1,000 yen laying on the floor. Somebody's going to pick that up. And that's somebody's pay, That's somebody's pay. So I talked to Tim, and he's like, I'm married. He goes, I don't care about groveling. I'll do it. So
Tim has no pride officially.
And so that's just one thing I wanted to get off my chest. So we often give tips to open micers, but here's a tip for an audience member. If you know you're going to a show, there might be money involved, just to let you know. And I mean, it's like, 1,000 yen. Yeah, because 1,000 yen, that's going to pay for all of our, 1,000 yen pays for all of our round trips on our Shinkansen, and it pays for a hotel room in the city we're staying in.
You forgot to mention the green car.
Yeah, exactly.
And for the married guys, if that come home with 1,000 yen, your wife's really happy about that.
Yeah,
that's right.
And how much did you spend on drinks?
You ask a married guy, ask Steve, how much can 1,000 yen buy? And he goes, I don't know. I've never had 1,000 yen in my hand. She never lasted that long. She just takes it.
We're not bringing home the bacon from comedy. We're just bringing home the bacon bits. That's it.
Here's a visual. It probably won't work, but honey, I'm home.
Oh, right on time. Unfortunately, Jingle Girl has a day off today, so we have no one doing security. So we may have some riffraff wandering in here to the podcast.
Yeah, I was thinking another way we could just have next time we play that venue, just bring some, bring police tape and stuff, because it looks like a crime scene anyway, right? And bring police tape, and it's like, I'm a reporter. It's like, oh, did you pay your 1,000 yen? Yeah, okay, let him in under the line. Nobody gets in under the police line. It's evidence,
London calling.
And before we run out of time, we're having constant interruptions here during this podcast right now. So we're going to end with a couple of old ditties from Radio Y. Sometimes we get people requesting at assportjapan@yahoo.com. You can email us there, give us comments. It's not universal, but we do seem to get a lot of people who enjoy hearing me give my producers a hard time and seeing what kind of murder and mayhem I could get away with being my own Ju-crew, my own Zoo-crew, all by myself with a scowling jingle guy and a scowling assistant, which we call the Resistant. So here's two bits that we did back in the Radio Y days. The first one is a superhero that I created because I got tired of people saying Shogunai all the time. So that's the first one. And the second one is the producer's response to our response to their memo. By our, I mean me. And the producers would send me a response that said, you're only playing this kind of music and you need to broaden your horizons and play to people with more different eclectic tastes. And at one point the producer said, you seem to be milking that memo. Every morning you have a new version of some episode where you mock our memo. Is it possible you're beating a dead horse? So that's the second one. On Talk Funny, brought to you by Nagoyacomedy.com and available on iTunes, Spreaker, and a variety of networks, including iHeartRadio.
The jingle guy is signaling me. Apparently there's some disturbance at a restaurant with some customers and a waiter. Let's go to that. Is this a news flash? Let's go to that now. Welcome to our restaurant. May I take your order? Yes, we'll take the steak special. Nah. Oh, you don't have it? Oh, I'll have the pizza then. Nah. But it's on the menu. We don't have it now. Well, that doesnn't seem fair. It's on the menu now. Monsieur, I can hide the show. What? What's that? I'm Shogaruman. Shogaruman. He'll take away the excuses when shopkeepers take your yen. Here, you lazy restaurant owner, it's masking tape. Are you going to tie me up? No, I'm putting it over the items in the menu that you have no intention of making ever. Thank you, Shogaruman. You're welcome. Radio 79.5 FM. Jamie-san, it's Scott Simonesh. Thanks for another great show. We'll be back again tomorrow with another edition of The Morning Eye. Jamie, you may recall the memo that we got back in 1968 asking us to expand our audience. Now, we've been doing that. Of course, some of them have turned into what sounds like gags. Now, I've got another memo here from our superiors that says, Mr. Bailey, we realize the gags you've done have come out of the memo that we sent you before, but don't you think that it sounds like you are beating a dead horse? No, I don't think that's what it sounds like. This is what beating a dead horse sounds like, okay? Here we go. And we borrowed Bessie from a racetrack. Got to give her back later today, so she's not really dead. But Jingle Guy, beat the horse. Beat the horse. Okay, beat the horse. This is what beating a horse sounds like. Ow! Ow! Beat the horse. Uh-oh. Jingle Guy, I said beat the horse. You shot the horse. Now what are we going to do? How are we going to get it back to the racetrack?
79.5 FM.
We will close this out for now, and we'll have more guests in next week's shows. This has been Talk Funny. I'm Mark Bailey, and we've had Steve Howard and Mike Miller.
Thank you.
See you next time.